Hey everyone, it's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you very much for joining us on this episode, the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. We are so glad you decided to join us, even if it's only for a few seconds. The just the mere opportunity to share Voices for Voices with the world as we are doing on a day-to-day basis, where we reach over 100 countries and over 1,000 cities across the world, Antarctica, Greenland, North Korea, South Korea, Russia, Brazil, Venezuela, uh, Canada, North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, Oceania. Obviously, that's not nowhere near every single area that we reach. There are very remote islands and areas that we are reaching as well. It's a it's just a pleasure to be able to come and share just a little bit of our knowledge, our events that have happened throughout our life, and the goal is to help at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. We have huge goals. I know we can do it. We're well on our way, and it's because of people like you who do things for free and watch and listen and share and subscribe, give us thumbs up. And uh, did I say share? Share Voices for Voices, share Voices for Voices, share Voices for Voices. The power of threes. Yeah, share as much as you can. It's free, and that is remarkable. Text five people close to you, or five people that you know in your network, your followers. Make it 10 or 15 with the holidays around us, and let them know about Voices for Voices. Share the show. Share what are we have embarked on, helping at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. And I guarantee they'll log in there, and they'll see what this is all about. We are the hottest podcast TV show mix on the planet. And that's planet Earth, in case anybody was curious. And the Earth is round, so just throwing that out there. Just having a little humor. We can laugh from time to time. Uh, I just got back from doing a little bit of last minute uh, shopping for the holidays. Not quite finished. Seems to be a yearly tradition. Uh, and I don't think I'm the only one, where we get closer and closer and closer, and then uh, it's like, oh, I need to go get some other things. I don't quite have everything that I need. So I'll be doing that, uh, coming up, and depending on when this episode airs, when it premieres, uh, it may be after Christmas has started for us. That that's that's nothing that we're pushing on anybody at all. Some people celebrate Christmas, some people don't. Some celebrate Hanukkah, some celebrate Kwanzaa, some don't, and that's okay. The one thing I do know is the time off work, if you can, the time that comes with having um, time away from work to recharge the brain and the mind is always welcome, no matter what what the reasoning is. So yeah, I was out doing some shopping, and it just so I just have to laugh at myself when I'm out and about. Yeah, you plan on going to one store and then you end up at another, and you end up at a different time that you thought you were going to be there. And so then there's, crowds, and there's just a lot of people doing a lot of the same things, trying to complete their shopping. And no matter what season they celebrate, or even if they don't celebrate a season, even if they're just celebrating another day. And that is one of the biggest things, is to celebrate another day on Earth, because we don't know when our last day is going to be. We don't know when our last minute, hour, second. We don't know when that's going to be. We can hope, and not I'm gonna say hope in this case. And we can think that we'll find out from a doctor, like, oh, we're going to get this diagnosis, and we're given a certain amount of time that we can plan on staying on Earth before we pass. Uh, but sometimes tragedies happen, and they don't happen because we want them to happen. They don't happen because we try for them to happen. We don't. And that's one thing, as a somebody with as a parent, so let's just call it, when we share with our children about accidents and uh, how sometimes they happen, and some of the first feedback from children are, well, I'm not going to let that happen, that, and we all learn the same way, right? Our brain starts forming once we're born in the back. It works our way up to the front. The logic and reasoning and that. Uh, and so we just have to try our best to share that, even if it's something, even if it isn't a traffic collision where somebody wasn't paying attention, and there's a collision, and lives can all be altered, and the families and the people, the loved ones, uh, get impacted as well. So it doesn't have to be uh, something like that where it's hugely impactful. It can be just carrying a couple of toys and putting them back where they belong. And that may lead to an accident of, oh, well, I dropped one of the toys and I broke it. Didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident. We didn't plan to do it. And so it's principles like that, that we try our best, but there's really no handbook that comes with the child. We just try our best that we can do, and try to be there, and just be a sounding board and helping, and guiding, and we're not perfect and we make mistakes, and so we we, we go that route of the best we can, and then that follows through when, for the most part, with children, they're good, well-loving, well-meaning, beautiful inside and out, uh, so smart, so intelligent. And so I go back to my initial point of, do what you do, not what others tell you to do necessarily. And we talked about that on a previous episode. But the shopping and all that, uh, I maybe it's just maybe I'm just hardwired to uh, to start a little bit later than a majority of people. And I think, sometimes we can get caught up in our work, and we can be, laser focused on that work and think, oh, I'll be able to get this in time, meaning whether that's a delivery, uh, of availability at a store. Uh, can I pick it up at the store, or does it have to be shipped to the house, or the apartment, or the condo, or wherever, the dorm? And so we just have to go with the flow. I just got a notification that one of the things I was shopping for supposed to be here today, and if not today, tomorrow. Which, this is as we're filming it, so we're filming this ahead of Christmas, even though this may premiere, it may first drop on Christmas. Now it's saying it might be Monday that it's gonna be delivered, and to just saw my the look on my face when I saw that, I was like, I can see a day or so. How does that turn into? I mean, Friday's still late, Saturday's still late, Sunday's still late, and now it's Monday, and it's just something we adapt to and we adapt with, and so we have to adapt in other areas of our lives as well. And so that made me so upset that, uh, yeah. So that just made me very upset to learn that. I may be surprised. Don't like surprises very much. Um, but this would be one of those instances where a surprise would be, okay, where, oh, we know he told you you're gonna get a delivery on Monday, but it's actually coming Tuesday. Or wait, no, because Tuesday's just about over. Maybe it's coming Wednesday. So we'll see. So everything we do, there's things we can plan to a certain degree. There's things that are out of our control, and that is a majority of life that's out of our control. I mean, we've already covered this on many episodes, so we're not gonna get into all the examples that I've used before. The other thing, well, let me just close that thought out with it kind of helps the mental health to feel accomplished, that finished the shopping, we wrapped the presents, we've signed the cards, and each thing we do, no matter whether it's small or large, it's a it's a little bit of a relief of like, okay, one less thing to do. We love those days when we can have minimal things to do and we can relax. And if anybody likes relaxing, it's me. Anybody likes their naps, that's me. Anybody that loves their sleep, that's me. I've tried to think back if it, it must just be it must just be me because I at t different times have done some traveling outside of the Eastern time zone, whether that's Western or whether that's Eastern, not Eastern direction, Eastern direction from the Eastern time zone. Say that three times fast. And so then I arrive back home, and then my body works on acclimating back to the Eastern time zone. And so there were a couple trips that maybe they just affect me a little bit differently. I don't know. Like real fast pace, so like being in one area for one day, then being in another area for a day, and then being and then and so there's just a fast paced nature. And so I don't know if my body was trying to catch up from all that, but we're talking like months and in some cases years from when these different moments of travel occurred. And so it's to hard to fathom. It's not impossible, but it's hard for me to fathom that my body's still just getting used to the time zone again, the Eastern time zone, the home time zone. I could be wrong. Everybody I kind of talked to, they're just like, no, I think you just like your sleep. You're used to working different hours, and so that's something I just have to embrace. It's hard. It's hard to do, but we try. We try our best. Sometimes our best isn't good enough, but that's okay. We can only do our best. literally the only thing we can do, no matter what that is. We just do our best, and then the results will be what the results will be. So that's what we're doing at Voices for Voices. We're doing our best that we can, given our resources, the the money that's been spent over over the years on Voices for Voices. And so we do our best. So we're grateful to have each and every one of you with us on this show. We have a whole catalog of over 390 episodes that you can check out at your leisure. We're on literally every or just about every single audio platform. So Apple, Amazon, uh, Spotify, iHeart, you name it, we're on it. The TV show is aired on our Rumble channel and our YouTube channel. All Voices for Voices. And we're all over social media. So follow us. You'll learn things sooner there than other avenues. So recommend that route. And we just have conversation and we talk about real life events, right? And we just went on for 15, 20 minutes. And I'll just close out this particular episode by saying that it's so cool, so neat to see family members that are, so in this case, my nephew plays lost both my nephews they play as many sports as they can. And I was able to go to one of their games, and it's another incredible moment that was able to watch him play as a freshman on the freshman team and the JV, the junior varsity team. It was just so neat just watching them. And it's something that luckily my mom was able to come. So I'm getting emotional, but it happens. It's life. Uh, my dad now in heaven, he passed on March 1st of 2020, 2024. And so that's a little bit what I was referring to about, we don't know how much time we have on Earth left. And so with my dad, we were given a period of time but even that was an estimation. And for us, with our belief that it was God, that He knew the exact day, the exact hour, the exact minute, and the exact second. So when I talk about certain aspects, my dad, I know he was watching heaven with with my nephews and with with my child and my daughter. He would just light up at the opportunity to go watch a ball game or go watch a recital. And that was one thing, uh, one of the things I miss about my dad is for so many, for 42 of my years. So if I'm, for those of you listening, my eyes are tearing up because I'm getting emotional. So just to kind of let you know, people watching obviously can see I'm doing something with my eyes. And so, uh, and so being at a ball game where I know my dad would just love to be there, and has nothing to do with how how well my family members played. It was just a mere fact that he just wanted everybody to be happy with what they were doing. I remember so many years ago that my nephew, I remember both of them were born, but for this particular this particular game was a ball sport, so there's I think you're playing with the ball, you're shooting it in a basket, uh, not with a firearm, but shooting, like trying to make as many baskets and get as many points for your team. That at the end of the game, that we would that you want to have the more points, a higher number, unlike golf or other sports where you want a low number. And I remember so clearly, and my dad loved baseball. We love all sports, really. My nephew tonight he played really well. And I remember being over at my mom and dad's house and sorry, and being over at my mom and dad's house and my nephews being so young. And so, right, they're playing with toys, they're keeping everybody on their toes. And my dad, he would toss, like a soft, very soft ball. and then my nephews would, they'd be a foot away or 2 feet away, not very far, just, they're learning. And so when, when they do that, my dad would always tell them, say, catch the ball with your hands, catch the ball with your hands. And you say hands, hands, to get a little bit of that memory of, okay, if a softball is tossed in my direction, I have to catch with my hands. So whether it's a basketball or baseball, soccer with the more with the feet. So instead of hand, it's more like feet, feet. And from again, as as young as I can remember, not just with with our family's children, young ones. It was something, and it, I mean, it's very small. It's not saying anybody's going to make, the professional sports and make all kinds of, money. And it was just merely just the fact of trying to just help recommend that if you catch it with your hands and then you squeeze it, or in baseball, depending, you could have a glove in one hand, so catch it with your glove, which is your actual hand is inside the glove. Anyways, I I'm now reminiscing on those types of activities where watching my nephew out there playing. I mean, the fact that he's in high school, like, and my other nephew that his grade is uh, not high school, but he's getting there. Um, so just seeing the way he's catching a ball and passing and dribbling and shooting and scoring baskets and points and playing on two different teams because he's very talented. And so I know my dad, like, with everything, he's looking down, watching down from heaven. And even though we were given a period of time, well, my dad's diagnosis, it still doesn't prepare anybody, didn't prepare us. It can't be prepared when somebody's going to pass away. And especially when you're in the same room. And I had never experienced that at all with any of my family, let alone, my dad. And so I tried to reminisce about the all the good times, and so the this what seemed like a small example of, like, well, yeah, of course you want them to catch the ball, or uh, when somebody's no longer living and with you, to whether we talk to them a lot or we sit and watch a ball game for hours and might say 15, 20 words over the course of the game. There's just like an understanding that we're both watching a game and and then we just watch the game, literally. We just watch the game. And so, the Christmas shopping part, it was a little lighthearted. There's a lot of people out. But you look at your list of, excuse me, no one knows this itching. You look at the list and it says a bag of something, and then you see a box of that something, and you're like, uh, it said small bag, and you're looking around, excuse me, you're looking around, and I'm not seeing that, and I'm seeing not what's on the list. It's in a different package, different shape. So I went back and forth so many times going, okay, I think this is it. Then I'll go to the next aisle and there would be another version of what I was looking for. And I go, well, small bag. Now I found a bag, but how small? And so these are the types of things the with my mental illness is more than one. I get super hyper focused, and that's one of the things, right? If you take ADHD, ADD, somebody like me that has major depression, we're trying to bring everything together and be able to focus and not be all over the place, which I still am a good majority of the time. But that's the idea. And so that, do I get the box or do I get, I see a bag, but what size of the bag and is there, it didn't say a flavor. I see a flavor of a small bag, but it doesn't say flavor on the list. And so these are the types of things that I hopefully it makes you laugh a little bit. I'm trying to laugh at myself, um, with just everything that's that's happening. Another Christmas without our dad with us on Earth. And though he's always with us, it's just in a different form. And so my emotions and everything, it's always a roller coaster because there's times like these where I'm on a show and I am extra emotional, and there's times I'm not. Doesn't mean I'm not thinking about said topics and said people. And so when I say, do the best you can, and no matter who it is, no matter what age, young, old, doesn't matter. Just do the best you can. And the best that I can so far with Voices for Voices is that we've reached people like you and others in over 100 countries, over 1,000 cities, all over the world, all over planet Earth. We're helping people. Some of it is quantifiable, some of it isn't. Some we learn how we helped, some we'll never know. We'll never know about that person who takes the show and sends it to a few of their friends and their loved ones, and it could be the both. Uh, and then they pass it on to somebody, and so three, four people deep, it might reach that person, and it might just be something they just need to hear or see and hear, or have it sign ASL, American Sign Language. And so that's my best. That's trying my best. Could I quit? Can I quit? Yes, of course I can. I can hang them up and say, "Oh, this is the best I could do," and but there's more. There's more people to help. There's more people that need to see somebody out in the light, somebody who was in the dark for so much of their life, me. And I felt every emotion in a book. Braces twice, still had crooked teeth, acne all over my face. And even now with anxiety and stuff, like there's tendency to like, scratch my face and see a mark on it. I can't I can try not to do it. Sometimes it just happens and I'm okay with it. I'm sorry if somebody is embarrassed or anything, but thinks that I haven't measured up the way I should based on other people, how other people measure up. I'm only doing my best. And Voices for Voices is my best as a human. I pray for every single one of you on the planet, whether you are a prayer type of person or not. I even pray for art. enemies, people that don't like us, people that think we're sharing too much information. And I don't know. I don't know how else to be. I spent too much of my life in seclusion where I wasn't sharing, I wasn't talking, I didn't have confidence. I didn't have a, yeah, I lacked self-confidence so long, so many different ways, insecure. There's even times now where I'm insecure in others. So this is one of the ways that I have to communicate with the world. And through our guests we have on, sometimes there's guests, one or more guests on the show, and sometimes there's solo shows like this one with me. But just know that I'm giving it my best. So I'm not a say as I do, not as I say as I do, not as I do. I'm living the same types of things, not the same exact type, but I mean, there's decision making points. And so your decision making points could be different than mine. But the fact of the matter is we have to decide one thing or another. And then we move on and then we figure, oh, am I gonna brush my teeth and then wash my face at night? Or am I gonna wash my face and then brush my teeth? Am I gonna floss before I brush? I mean, these are all things that some of us have, like, we have them programmed in our mind. And one of the things I like structure and I don't like structure. One therapist said, well, how can you want structure, but you say you want the flexibility? And I was like, yeah, I know that's just me. I like to have an idea of what could possibly be taking place, but I also want some flexibility. So don't feel bad if you're like I am, or even if you aren't like I am. I hope I made you laugh maybe a little bit, cry a little bit. I do have emotions. I'm not a robot. We don't do this for the accolades. We haven't received one single award, and I'm more than okay with that. I don't want an award. I want to help people. I want people to watch. I want people to listen. I want people to subscribe for free, to watch for free, to listen for free on any platform, any streaming platform, app. And I want you to help us reach our goal of helping at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. Because I know my life is short. All of our lives are short. We spend such a short amount of time on Earth. And there's a reason we're here. I still don't know if Voices for Voices is that reason. For me, believer Jesus Christ and God, they for me, again, this is for me. This isn't for everybody. Saying for me, that's who knows why I'm on Earth, why I was born, why I have had supportive parents and family relationships and personal relationships uh, and the song goes on. Here I am, just about 2 weeks removed from my 44th birthday. And so I think Voices for Voices is what I'm supposed to be doing. But I haven't haven't gotten a postcard or a letter from God or Jesus saying to Justin Allen Hayes, this is your purpose in life. Sincerely, Jesus Christ and my Father God. It would make things a whole heck of a lot easier having that knowledge. But we don't usually get it. And I haven't gotten it. So I have to go off of signals of, well, I did get that shopping done. There's still more I'm going to need to do tomorrow. I got to watch my nephew play ball. My mom was there. She got to see. I got emotional, and I always will, talking about someone or someones that we love and we miss. Wish they were still here. Wish we were able to have more conversations. Wish all all the things. And so that's when I say I pray for myself, pray for my family, I pray for our enemies, people that don't like Voices for Voices, don't like what we're doing for whatever reason. I still pray for them because we're all human beings and we're all here for such a short period of time. So who am I to say that I'm above anybody? I'm not. I'm not God. Nobody's perfect. I'm not Jesus Christ. Never have, never will be. That's something I can guarantee with a 100% certainty. This was a powerful episode for me. And again, if you can do us a favor, text 25 of your friends. Let them know about Voices for Voices, about our TV show and podcast. We're gonna be reaching the milestone of 400 total episodes and of the show and podcast before the ball drops on January 1st of 2026. Let them know that Justin Allen Hayes The Voices for Voices wants to help 3 billion people over the course of his lifetime and beyond. Let them know that. Let them know that they can follow us. They can subscribe. They can give us thumbs up. All those things are free to do. Follow us on all social media platforms. And you notice I haven't mentioned one thing about money. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. If you live in the United States, if you so choose, to donate at lovevoices.org. 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 There's not an amount too small. There's not an amount too big. We're helping people as it relates to recovery and mental illness. That's how I started this organization, from my mental illnesses that I'm still dealing with 8 years after hitting rock bottom in the middle of November 2017. But you don't have to donate. Just watching and listening and watching and listening and sharing with individuals, that does so much for us that you don't even, maybe you do know. And so if you're able to do that, thank you so much. Even if you're not able to, thank you just for watching and listening and being an ear for me to have a conversation with. We're a small organization. We don't have a huge staff. The staff you see doing social media and not just putting in all the shows together, whether they're solo shows or they are with guests. So I'm that individual. And so you have to you have to know that I'm pretty darn dedicated, because that work is not glamorous at all. Copying and pasting, picking out a title, picking out a description, picking out hashtags, and the list goes on. And that's for every single episode. So that's how we let them know. We hope you have a blessed day, morning, afternoon, evening, night. And we have nothing but love from us to you. So have a great season, no matter what or how you celebrate. We want everybody to be happy, prosperous, healthy. We want to, we want, we want there to be unity, not division. We want to turn the volume down on people that are sapping energy from ourselves, and let's increase the volume and intensity for what you and I are doing. So stop listening, stop watching if it's not helping, or if it's hard to relate. and start doing more of what you want to do. Stop watching TV, watching whether it's an athlete or an entertainer or a musician, when you've always wanted to be on that big stage in front of those 50,000, 100,000, those millions of viewers during the Super Bowl. That's how we've gotten to where we're at. That's how that's how I've maintained any and all of my energy for this organization, for our show and podcast, for our books. I haven't even touched on our books. We have 7 books out. 7. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 books. Check out Amazon.com. Type in Justin Allen Hayes. Type in Ryan, Ryan, Solomon, Solomon, David Solomon, Solomon, and Amanda Solomon, Solomon. They're family. Ryan is 9-year-old author. He made the decision that he wanted to he wanted to be an author. His parents support and they supported him along the way, saying it's your idea, your thoughts. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. You're 9. You just be a kid. So the search for Drake Colton by Ryan Solomon. Buy a copy. Get an electronic copy. Tell those 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 friends or your followers that there's a 9-year-old author, is the youngest author in the United States of America, and very well could be the youngest author across the world. The Voices for Voices, Voices for Voices Publishing. That's where you're going to find Voices for Voices Publishing. We have so much to go. We have so much going on with our organization and how nimble and how uh, small the staff that we have. Like you're looking at from like the administrative and the marketing, and you're looking at a good majority of that right here. David Solomon as well, his wife Amanda as well. So you make a purchase of any of those books. The Search for Drake Colton by Ryan Solomon, The Young Siren Born by David Solomon, both The Search for Drake Colton and Young Siren Born, brought to you by Voices for Voices Publishing. Enchantment's Embrace, also brought to you by Voices for Voices. That is story that Amanda Solomon wrote. There is The Seaman, Seaman by David Solomon. That's with Voices for Voices Publishing. And there's others. There's so much going on, so much hope, so much happiness. So thank you very much for being with us. We love you, and we'll see you on another show. This is Justin Allen Hayes. The voices for voices. Let's celebrate the voice in all of us. And let's please be a voice for you or somebody in need. Bye bye. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.